Okay, Chris, sit down here for a second.
Where am I sitting?
Anywhere here's fine. I'll sit on this side because then I can go and be on the other side because no, you're gonna have to scooch this way. Right here.
I just got comfortable. He said anywhere. Okay. Is the hair and makeup artist coming later?
Yes.
Much later.
I like never.
So what are you doing? I saw you up there flying.
Oh, just I put a little more pitch in the prop, but I still need to add a little.
What the f-
Really? I used all that horsepower.
Yeah, I guess so. Keep bumping up over the red line.
Really? Oh wow. Yeah, then you could put a lot more pitch in it. Look at all this fancy stuff. Yeah, I visited that RevMaster place. You know, he's been in business since the 50s.
Yeah. Well, Volkswagen.
Yeah.
Can you just lean up a little bit?
Oh, is this a microphone?
No, I'm just reaching inside you for the fun of it.
You have bought me dinner, so. Really nice guy. Just plugging away.
Where is he?
Hesperia Airport, down south.
So, when did you go there?
Last night. Oh yes. So I
you
left
delivered it.
Friday night. Well, we got a call and he says, "Yeah." I said, "Tell him $100 and I'll bring it." Because
I got him another $100 extra.
So this is so what happens is I called Teddy. I said, "Hey Teddy, I'm going to bring you those blocks. You know, down before we get the little participation. We made 100 of them."
You drove to El Morado?
Yeah. So Friday night, I called Teddy. I says, "Hey, I might be coming down." He goes, "Come on down." I said, "Where are you going to stay?" I said, "Oh, probably a hotel or something." He goes, "Stay at my house." He goes, "You and who are you bringing?" I said, "Joe." He goes, "Oh, great." He goes, "You guys can sleep in the hangar if you want. It's nice and warm."
Oh, there you go.
I said, "Okay." And Joe's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Oh, okay." So Joe hops in the truck, and then the other guy with the C65 we had, or the A65,
Yeah.
he got a buyer for that. So that guy says, "Hey, I'll meet you on your way."
Oh.
So he met me up in Gorman, and nice kid, got long hair, looked like a hippie, but he's about in his 30s. Must be doing pretty well for him. So he also is a gun machinist, so he machines gun parts. Like if you want an AR or something made, he makes them. Real nice kid,
Yeah.
real sharp. He has a Stearman. He flies a Stearman, and he was the reason he wanted the. You know, the only reason he wanted that motor is because he saw the prop adapter on the front of the engine, and that prop adapter, they charge $1,000 for that thing.
It is.
So he's like, so that's really the only reason he bought it, because he's got a C85 on the front, and he needed that prop adapter.
So what's he putting it up?
He's rebuilding a Cessna 140.
Oh.
He bought a 140 on the over in what airport down there? I think it was on the tarmac in Chino, and he says, "I've been sitting there for a while. It looked pretty good." He goes, "I thought it was going to be a quick, like, just fix it up and get it flying." He goes, and it turned into something. He ended up recovering the wings and then going through the engine. So it's got a C85 on the front. It's a nice little Cessna 140. And he's got it almost done. He just needs the prop adapter and a few other little odds and ends.
So you got a threefer.
So I delivered that. Yeah, $200 in gas money. So it paid for me, and I went and visited my daughter. Surprised her.
I'm not sure if $200 to cover the gas.
No, not really. But I mean, it offset the cost.
Yeah.
I figured I wasn't going to charge her more than that. But yeah, I mean, $200 paid for my gas down there anyway.
I filled up my truck, my Dodge.
Oh God.
I had put 5 gallons in it. The pump shut off at $225
Oh yeah.
over at Costco.
Yeah.
I was wondering where they shut you off.
Well, I called my card company, and the guy said, "Look," he goes, "the easiest way to do it is just reset your card." He goes, just he goes, I know it's a pain. He goes, but it's easier because if we put a higher amount, he goes, it's less likely to trigger if somebody steals your card.
Yeah.
And he says, so it's a better idea just to leave the amount it is. He goes, that way if it goes over that amount, he goes, it won't, if it's at a gas station and it doesn't go over that amount, it doesn't, he goes, it only triggers if we don't see the proper whatever. I said, okay. He goes, but yeah, he goes, but if you put it at a higher amount, he goes, it'll be less likely to trigger. It's just run your card again. He goes, it's easier. I said, okay.
Yeah. For now.
Yeah, for now.
Gas prices may come down again eventually, but I wonder.
As soon as some more pitch in the prop.
Gotta add a little bit
I
more.
guess we're about to go live here. I guess we're live.
Oh, it says
Welcome to our first talking about Loki. We have Ken here, we have Chris and myself, and I thought I'll put on this live show. I have no idea if you can hear us. I'm gonna go and check out if anybody has any comments. We're gonna just goof around here for a little bit. I haven't done this before, so I guess we'll see.
I like it. Guinea pigs.
Back to live mode. What's going on here? Okay. Okay, so this is what we're live. Don't laugh. I haven't done this before.
I was clearing my throat.
Oh, you were clearing your throat. Okay, perfect. So, welcome. What are we doing here, Chris?
Don't put me on the spot.
So, long story short, we're at the Watsonville Airport, and we're sitting in the hangar where I built a Chinook Plus 2. So we're broadcasting this to Walkaround, the Chinook I built, and this is how I met those two guys here. They've been super helpful. So Chris, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, I'm Chris Laws. I'm just a local pilot here. I'm the current president of our EAA Chapter 119 at Watsonville. That's about it.
So just so you know, whenever I had a problem, I went to those two guys. So they helped me build, and so this is why I invited them to come here. So thanks for being here. Ken, where do you fly?
A Kit Fox currently, and a Cessna and a Strike, and that's about it.
So you know why I own a Chinook Plus 2, right?
Oh yeah,
Why?
it's fun.
No, because I couldn't afford a Kit Fox.
Oh, yeah. Well, that Chinook is going to outperform the Kit Fox.
Well, in some ways it will, and it's fun.
Yeah.
So, how did this all start? As I said, I've looked at Kit Foxes, and I wanted a bush plane. You'll see in a second here that there is also an RV4 standing, and I wanted something that I can land and not break. So, I've been looking at the Chinook Plus 2 for a while, and there was one that came up, and actually my partner in the RV found it in Petaluma. It was a Chinook that was half built. The frame was done, and that was pretty much it. It had an engine. It had a brand new 912 Rotax. I guess that's what you took out of your Kit Fox, right? You took the 80 out and put the 100 in.
Put the 100 in just recently.
Yeah.
So we were doing this at the same time. We had a bit of a sprint going on. Who starts their engine first, right?
Well, I'm finally done.
I brought it down from Petaluma, and then started working on it. And quite a few of you helped online, so thank you for that, and you helped. So, Chris, what was your experience watching me build the Chinook?
Painful. No, just kidding. No, actually, let's see. Yeah, I mean, this is your first time building a kit airplane. I think we
Yes.
established that. And like from start to finish, it was a very, granted, the Chinook goes together fairly quickly, but still, you built it in a very short period of time. That was fairly impressive. You sort of had the building gene, because it went together quickly, and you did a really nice job. Yeah, dedication, yeah. You have that thing that most of us lack, which is being able to not be distracted and stick to stick to one thing at a time. Yeah, while I'm helping him, I'm not finishing my project. Projects, yeah, I'm a project-rich environment. I have both diseases. I like flying them and I like building them.
Did you have the same experience when you first met me? Like, I just started a new project, right? And so everybody that I talk to, I do this thing. I go online, I find groups on Facebook, and I start mingling with them. And my experience has been, again, this time around too, that they all don't take me serious. They all give me this sort of like, oh yeah, no, that's gonna take way long. I know that's not gonna work, and You know, so I get a lot of.
You get the I used to call them the naysayer trolls, because they go on there and they go, yeah, I tried that once, it didn't work. Oh, I tried that too, and it didn't work. And you know, I don't know if some of them mean well or not, but yeah, you get a lot of the naysayers like, well, yeah, you're never going to get it done that short. And sometimes, I mean, that's from experience, but sometimes, like I said, like yourself, you have that, what most people lack was that sort of driven nature to go, this is in my hands to do, this is what I'm doing. And then, of course, driving guys like me to not stand there and stare at you and go, hey, could you do this right now? Can you put that together?
I called you quite a few times. We're like, are you coming over tonight to the hangar?
And I'm like, I'm
I
coming.
guess I am.
Honey, I'm going to work? Yeah. No.
Yeah, so, I mean, it was really interesting to start with, right? Because, as Chris said, I haven't built a plane before, but I've fixed the boat up from scratch, not having sailed before. Built a house, not having built a house before. So I thought, like, well, it's just another project. And in a way it was, and in other ways it wasn't. So what I thought we'll do today is we'll just walk around the plane a little bit, talk about the things that I did different from stock, talk about the things that I like, talk about some of the things that failed. There's already a failure. We're about 25, 30 hours into phase 1 right now. Bought the plane in September of 21 and finished it on March 9th of 2022. That's when I got my airworthiness certificate. So
That was cool.
actually, I sat on this couch with
The DAR.
the DAR, and we went through the documentation and so forth, which, by the way, you can see on EAA Builder's Log. If you look it up, pretty much everything is on there. Ken, what do you think of the Chinook versus the Kit Fox? Shall we talk about it after? Do you want to come back on the couch, or what are your thoughts?
Well, you know, so they're just different different planes. I don't. Tandem seating and, you know. Pusher versus tractor, yeah. You know, and yours, I'm sure, land shorter, mine's a speed wing, and you're not. That'll be interesting to see. We're going to have our own stall competition.
Well, I'm thinking of going out to the High Sierra fly-in in October.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll see if any of you going to make it out.
I don't know. My son, which who just arrived, has been jonesing to come out. He's been wanting to come out.
Just have some guests coming. Oh, it's okay. You can come over. Yeah, Joe, you can yell in from the back. We have. So, do you want to walk around and look at the plane a little bit? Talk
Yeah.
about different things?
Let's do that.
So, Ken, would you mind taking the camera and pointing it at us? Thank you. So we're going to have to take this one with us. So that's the RV4, by the way. Awesome plane. My second
Do the
plane,
Vanna.
I started with a Sonex, actually a YX.
YX.
And I have to say I like this a
Far
lot
better.
different, so yeah, not as much clackering. But anyhow, that, by the way, is a
Xenos.
a Xenos, and it's electric. So it has a, what's the motorcycle company called?
Zero. It's a Zero motorcycle engine as far as I know.
Yeah.
I think. I don't.
Yeah. Okay, so here's Loki. Called Loki because we're gonna get in a whole bunch of trouble. And I'm gonna take that computer and I'm gonna put it on the side over there. We have enough cable for that, right? So, where do we start with stuff, Chris? What do you think?
Probably the biggest differences
Come
in these versus the regular Chinook is the landing gear.
Yeah, so that was pretty much the first thing I did. I put the landing gear on. This is, they call it the DR gear from Dan Reynolds. And so you can see actually, if you look through here, you see, look, if you, yeah. So that's the DR gear. Bought that from the factory. They say in the instructions to have 2 people, and that's good advice. That was a bit of a pain because you basically take this plane apart here, and then put this frame in, you cut this off, there's normally a strut that goes down, and then the rest was pretty straightforward, I have to say. Really liked that. So, and that's been great. It's been really holding up awesome. The only thing we had to change was this here. And by the way, getting those on, oof, you better find someone who has a good cup.
Oh yeah, that's the bungee. The bungees, yeah, you gotta have the bungee tool.
Yeah. So, and then the covers that came from the factory, they were crap, so we had to put new ones on there. Everything else, really awesome. I got the tires from them too, and the brakes. And then I got the toe brake system here. Yeah, so those are the toe brakes. They come from the factory again.
The brake pedals were ones that you got differently though, right?
No, it all came as a kit.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So that was, I basically got that whole kit, and that came with the toe brakes. Do you remember that they had the wrong fittings in the back?
That was what
so
it was,
watch
yeah.
out for the fittings. They have the wrong fittings in the back.
Yeah, they weren't. They weren't.
leaked. I put them all on, and every single one leaked. So you actually came over and helped with that. So that's, and then we put that foam on there because it squirts out the top, and that holds it in. It looks goofy, but it works pretty well.
Yeah, they tend. These are the ones with the reservoir built in, and as Ken knows, and I know, they tend to vent off from the top every so often. So if you hit some bumps, you'll have brake fluid on the floor. So
Yeah.
the little foam will absorb it.
And then the other thing that comes with that whole kit is the, let's walk around this way. And can we try that you point this way so the light, because otherwise.
Do you want Joe to do this?
Huh?
You want Joe to?
Sure. Joe, do you want to be cameraman? So if one of you wants to hold the computer, the other one can be the cameraman. That way you can see what shows up.
Here, you guys.
This is a full-on production, you two. Thank you.
Cameraman Steve.
So you can see what's on the
Oh.
camera here, and you can see it on here too. So if you want to point it at him, that way you can point.
look.
So here you
Steven.
can see if we.
Stephen, you can see what's on the camera right there.
Okay. So the tail wheel is not stock. This is not how we fly. This is our fixed one. And let me get the. I'm just going to walk by here for
That's
a
a
second.
special home builder's tail wheel right there. We found it inexpensive and kind of lightweight, and the full wheels make it more stable. Okay, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so the stock tail wheel comes like this. It is this piece here,
Yeah, let me see those.
and this, hold it, and this gets
Sandwiched in there like
sandwiched
that.
in between like this. And so as you can see, this broke. And so what happened is, you can actually see it best on this one.
Yeah, it cracked right there.
It cracked right there. And then this is so thin, if you go and look at the side here, this actually stretched. Look at this front here, right? This literally from the landing and from continuously going like boom, 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 this stretched here. Eventually this came off and just broke. The thing that contributed to this too was when you take this wheel and you kick it around, I kicked it around from there, which made it got a lot of leverage this way, and so it really worked that seam here. And fortunately, it broke.
And you guys were
Pulling
pushing
it in, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, into the hangar. So John and I have a different opinion on this. I think this is a crap design. John thinks I installed it wrong, so I'm gonna just leave it as that here. Someone else had it broken too, and Dan Reynolds uses this design here. So if you want to see this, this is basically just a U design. That's now the tube is going to go in here. It's doubled up here, and yeah, double the thickness. Compare
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I'll show you something. Watch this.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't break this.
It's very stout.
So the challenge now, though, is
Matching the holes.
yeah, we got to match
you
the
got-
holes because I don't want to drill other holes into the tube. So
There's all kinds
we're
of neat
working on
tricks,
matching the
huh?
holes, and that's why we have them flown right now. This and this wheel all comes with the kit. I was happy with all of this. that piece, I leave that up to you. So, Chris, what do you think?
Oh, and that'll be interesting to see. Like I said, this being the pusher configuration, the Kit Fox, of course, is a tractor. That'll be fun to once you're both up and running and you get your phase 1 fly off to see what the performance differences are, like takeoff roll and stuff like that. Because you can take off pretty short when you try. Yeah.
So while I'm here, maybe I should talk a little bit about my number and my name. So I like giving my little toys names, and I knew I'm going to get in a whole bunch of trouble. So I decided Loki was the best name for it. So that's what's on there. And instead of having the Loki character, I have a monkey because monkeys can get into all kind of trouble. And then a number, that's sort of a joke. Because what happened is I wanted an easy to remember number. So I looked for every number that there are 3 digits. Like I wanted CH for Chinook. And then I looked 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, and so forth. And the only one that was available was 666. So I reserve it.
Because nobody takes 666 for
Well,
anything.
I had no idea why until I told someone, it's like, you're getting the number of the devil? Let me tell you, it's really funny. I'm Austrian originally. In Austria, 666, nobody knew that this had anything to do with the devil and devil worshipping. So you can look up how you pronounce 6 in German, and then you'll know why 666 is so funny to me. I kept it. And then I found out what, Chris? What did I find out? Yours is 666 too.
So mine's 666 Victor Mike on the gyrocopter. That's my gyrocopter over there. And yeah, it's funny. The reason that it's like the
Let's
number.
walk out there for a second.
It's like the number 13. You can get the number 13 in any other end number because people are superstitious. I'm a Christian. I have well-meaning people that are like, oh, I don't know. You shouldn't be flying that. I said, look, it's not tattooed to my forehead. It's just a number unless it's the number of something. I said, I get it. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's nothing to stress about. If somebody knows of something different, they can call me and let me know. I mean, I don't know. But
okay, so let's talk a little bit about the engine here. So this is the Rotax 912. I made a few changes following advice from some of you actually on the forum. The changes are, I have a header tank down here. If you look, I don't have the football tanks. I think they look ugly and disgusting. The one reason why you want the football tanks is because you can see the fuel level. The tanks in the wing go into the football tanks. When they go low, you know you have no gas. Well, I put a sight glass in it. It's really hard to see, I have to admit, so there's a good reason. I just didn't like it, so I have a header tank here. Header tank, you can find that on any racing website. Yeah, it's been working great so far. This is my second, what's that, Chris?
oh, there's a lot of guys call them the Amazon tank.
Yeah, it is.
Because
the Amazon tank.
you'll find this same size of tank on Amazon and you'll find it with the filler here, the filler here.
I bought it on Amazon.
Yeah, they call it the Amazon. Well, I've heard a lot of racing guys call it the Amazon tank. Anyway, go ahead.
So, by the way, are you looking, are there any comments coming in or anything on the right? What's that? So, on the right side, if you look over there, you can see if there's any comments coming in. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the header tank. This is my second oil
Cooler.
cooler. This mounting, I'm not sure of. It seems to vibrate some, so we're probably going to put some standoffs in there and
Through
put that
bolts.
on through bolts and standoffs. Because this seemed to, through vibration, we got some oil leak through here. But other than that, that's been really working well. I really didn't do any, oh yeah, I replaced this one with a new version because there was you told me about this, right? The old version leaked or over time went bad. And then we had a really funky thing going on with the 912 up here. It sucked the coolant out of there. It literally sucked the coolant. So we put this on and that stopped it. I changed the springs here to have not such strong throttle pressure. So bought them online, so those are new springs. And other than that, I don't think I did anything special on there. Oh yeah, fuel pump is down there. You can see that, auxiliary.
This was there was a service bulletin.
Yeah, that was the service
bulletin
for
to
the
replace the fuel
yeah.
pump. Yeah, I remember that.
And other than that, I mean, oil change, super easy. Oil filter change, super easy.
Oh, one of those things I was going to ask you.
Ooh, I gotta show you the gasculator because I'm so proud of that.
Oh, gee.
Really crappy. Come over for a second here. So this is my gasculator. If I look in there, there's something in there, then I would see it, and it spits out there.
So you can see.
Oh, and this thing broke here too. So there's on the back here, one of these broke off, this bracket, I'm not sure. So we zip tied it down. Patey Brothers, those zip ties are the best, I gotta tell you.
Oh, oh, is that the?
Biggs, Mike, and what's the other guy's name? Mark Patey, yeah. Awesome. So that's the engine. Anything else, Chris, on the engine?
I was going to ask you because one thing we never talked about is how's the cooling doing with the radiator placement? Because I know there was some question.
problem.
on it. No problems at all.
Ken, what do you think about after you installed yours?
Well, I'm not having any problem with mine.
But anything you see different that's special?
That's it on the radiator?
Yep, that's it.
If it's not heating up, you're good.
Well, it's funny. I
So-
went to a smaller radiator on mine, my 100 horse, and I just went, okay, let's see what it does. And actually, it might runs cooler than when I had the bigger radiator because the placement.
Well, didn't you sit on it before?
It was behind the. It was just in a funny space, and but it was a big, huge radiator. It was a Volkswagen, like out of a GTI or
You
something.
have a long cable if you want to walk away.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we go into the pilot seat and talk about the panel and the inside a little bit, I just thought I'll talk about the Oraxtex. So, I did not want to go and paint the plane. I somehow was not really a fan of that. And so I got Oraxtex. And you can see it here.
Oratex fabric, yeah.
Oraxtex fabric. And I think it looks good. It's not a show plane, but it definitely looks good. And all you do is you apply it and you're done painting. There's no paint to do. It's more expensive than regular fabric. So Dan Reynolds and I did a bit of math, and the material to the Oraxtex versus fabric is about double for Oraxtex. However, I spent a third of the time.
Oh yeah, easily.
So I was really happy with this. In order for colors, I kind of played around with color scheme to use. I decided to do a white wing with some red accent on the wing with the flaperons. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's been holding up good so far. It's been only on for, as I said, now since March. And it's in the hangar all the time, so I don't keep it outside.
How many hours are you up to right now? Just
About
looking.
30.
30 hours?
Yeah.
So you're getting there.
Yeah. So what did I do with it? I basically, you saw us sit in front of two big 4x8 sheets. I had some stands. I put everything down there, and I followed the instructions and just put it on. And after a while, I mean, I really had a good time doing it. It was really fun and easy, and it shrunk nicely, and you can see it's still actually
And you
pretty
can see one of the things that people always ask the question, do you have to rib stitch it? Well,
that one you do not rib stitch, not even the regular fabric.
this is, yeah, so this is not rib stitch, it's just glued, but it's glued to the
Yeah, it
ribs.
is glued, it's
So it's glued to the ribs, so he doesn't get ballooning or anything like that. But I know that's a big question that people have, and as the Oraxtex guys will tell you, if your aircraft manufacturer says that you have to have some kind of mechanical connection between the fabric and the ribs, he says, then just do it. He goes, if you don't want to, that's up to you. But like you're one of the few planes I've seen that like there's no stitching. You didn't stitch anything. But like you were saying, the original wing, there's no stitching.
No, there's no
Because
stitching.
wasn't the original Dacron like a sock that goes over it?
No, it's the regular, what's that thing they put
Oh,
on
Seek-
cup? Yeah, yeah.
Like regular like Seconite?
Yeah,
polyfiber?
Exactly, polyfiber, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's walk around and do a few more things on the inside, and then I think we're done. So, here's my cockpit. As you can see, I'm ready for some camping. I put a box in the back. The seat is over there. Yeah, I put my battery right here. It's a small Earth-X. I did it before I did my weight and balance, which everybody told me not to, but it turned out okay. You can see over there my throttle quadrant, and here's my panel. And let me turn this on for a second here. As you can see, I am having a whole AvMap set up. So I love the engine box that directly connects to all the inputs coming from the Rotax. It's made for the Rotax. Ken, you got the same one, so it's been really super easy. It's been really super easy. And then I have the eFuse for AvMap. I have to say I'm not really sure yet how I feel about it. It's a little hard to see when you fly. I sit a little far away, but it does the job. Other than that, you can see here I have a full setup here. I have radio and transponder. We're close to the Mode C veil here, so I want to be able to fly everywhere. So I put all of that in, and yeah, I mean, to get everything in there was a bit of a trick, but I managed to get both the remote units. They're right behind here, underneath there in the back, and just about worked out.
Yeah, and get a load of his wiring.
Oh yeah.
The one thing you'll hear about Robert is he's absolutely meticulous and obnoxious about wiring. He rolls his eyes when he sees my wiring. But yeah.
And then I just went and Velcroed a bunch of parts on there just to see, have my stuff in there. Oh, one thing. So this is the inside. That's the panel. I'm going to turn that off. If you have any questions, just put some comments in there. One of the things you see here, and this is, I think it's a must for anybody who rebuilds. I have a question.
No need to rib stitch, question mark.
Yeah, no need to rib stitch, so thanks for asking. This is actually something I checked with the factory. Even on the original, you don't rib stitch, so thank you for asking. One of the things I want to also talk about is this, the metalized fuselage. So originally, this was fabric. Well, mine didn't have anything on it, but the original design had fabric on there. And the factory ended up making a metalized option for that, and I think it's a must-have. The weight difference is minimal, and I cannot tell you the structural integrity this adds. Before, when I'd go on there, when I'd sit on there, it all flex, and the whole frame would torque and flex. You put this on, huge difference. So I really highly recommend this. It's a great add-on. It was actually, what's that?
Much less normal correction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah. If you have any questions, just ping me, send me a message on Facebook or on YouTube, and I'll connect with you. There's a few little tricks to do, but Oraxtex has been great as a material to work with. The delivery of the product, make sure you get a hold of them and give yourself enough time. They are sometimes a little slow with the shipping. It comes from Germany. So, yeah, this is just a great add-on. It was fairly straight to do, simple to do. Eric and I did it in, I think, 2 afternoons, and it's such a great help. Yeah, and I deleted the door on the other side, so I can only get in on this side and that side, so I made that fixed. I really don't know why I would need 2 doors. Just thought it was simpler that way.
So you can fly with the doors off.
Yeah, you know we did that? We flew with the doors off.
Oh, that's
Originally,
right.
I didn't put them on. It is the weirdest thing. The moment you are not coordinated, or when you slip, the thing when you slip it, it gets really wild.
Yeah, I have no idea what that's like.
He has not even a screen in front of it. But no, the difference is, what happens is you have this front here.
Yeah, so you get it
So
extra.
you get, like, at first it slides by. The moment you fly uncoordinated,
Oh yeah.
you get this whole back. It's really, really odd. So I did not like flying without the doors, I have to say. I thought I'd like it, but I didn't. Oh, VGs. So one of the things, if you look, oh, this one's cleaning here. When you look up, we put VGs on there. They are actually much further forward than you'd expect. Eric, you did an awesome job. Thank you. There is a whole video by Alex, something S. He has a Kid Fox, and he did a whole testing, 3 video series about where he tested it and where he ran it through fluid dynamics, and he gives you the percentage of where to put it. So I can give you the numbers if you're interested, but our stall speed dropped 3 to 4 miles per hour in each single setting. So we're now on full flaps, we are in the high 20s, so it went below 30 miles per hour.
Wow.
So it's really, I haven't actually landed it with full flaps. I still come in with some speed, which, by the way, this was the thing, and John told me this, but this took time. You do not want to come in with this without power. You actually take the power out very last just to settle it down, because otherwise you just like, it has a very huge sink rate. So, yeah, I'm still learning how to fly it. It's been fun. And why don't we, do you want to, what's that?
I was actually going to ask you, so that was the big question that I know a lot of people ask is, you went from flying an RV4, well actually from a Sonex to an RV4, and then to flying this. And I remember we had a lot of conversations before you fly this, and I was like, of course, being the father figure going, have you, but how big a difference was it flying this? Like how, were you prepared for how this flew?
No.
Like when you got in it?
No. Well,
Yeah.
so let's talk a little bit about my flying in this. So I took this out, and do you remember when you were taxiing and I did a fast taxi? I thought I'll fast taxi this. Do not fast taxi this thing. It does not want to fast taxi. Actually, it wants to take off. This literally jumps off the runway.
It just wants to fly.
Fast taxiing, not a good one. So I tried the fast taxi. What did I do? I did a ground loop. Eric said this was the slowest ground loop he's ever seen. I basically went.
We were watching it. It looked like slow motion.
It was crazy. But I did okay, and I think it was just basically a circle.
Yeah.
And then I said, Eric, do you want to test it? And he tested it. He flew it. It took off great. We had to do some adjustments. We had some slack in the elevator that caused the
And you had a
pitch
really
to be
stiff
off.
tail.
And we needed to, I forgot to
Loop the tail.
so it was really stiff on it. And then Eric flew it, and then I talked to Dan, and so really what I had to do is I had to get my speeds right.
Yeah.
And I would flare too high, and then I was just like, once I flared, I'm used to adding power to stop the ascent, right? So like you get a little bit of power in there, right? Well, with this one, the moment you add power, it does one of those.
It pushes the nose
It
over.
pushes the nose down. So now you are already having problems, and now the nose goes over. Not a good idea.
Yeah.
So I really had to learn how to deal with speed on the landing and really come in right. So, and now I'm getting there. People recommend to land it on grass first. I actually did here in our Concord, and that worked okay. I haven't flown it in over a month, so I'm actually kind of worried now.
Well, one of the things that I know we talked about is a lot of guys switch from going from something like this or a Cessna or something that has all this inertia. It's heavier, it has inertia, and you pull the power, and it's one of those things I've reiterated to guys that are in our chapter that are going from being GA pilots to being light sport pilots. And you're going from the average plane that was, 2,500 pounds gross weight or higher, to going to something that's only 1,300 pounds. And they think, oh, no big deal. But you get in them and you realize that they float. I started flying the little light sport Technums with Griffin had here. And I mean, they're crazy easy to fly. And they were actually a really clean airplane, but they have no inertia. So you come in and you don't have that inertia to keep you. It'll float if you come in fast, but when you were slow, when you pulled power, it just got slower really quick because there was just no weight. I mean, me being a big guy helps a lot, but yeah, like with something like this is drag city. It's a lot of lift, but a lot of drag and no weight.
Yeah. So flying takes off in no time.
Yeah.
It's like 100 feet and you're off. It's kind of crazy. The 912, I love it. It's really great. It's been running good. It turns on a dime, but it needs the rudder is it's very sort of like you gotta really fly coordinated. What else? when it's bouncy up there, you get bounced around differently than I'm used to.
It's a small, light airplane.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it has these huge, long wings. So when there is any wind, you really got to watch out for that.
It's a kite.
It's a kite, exactly. Yeah, you land short, but I'm still learning how to land it right. And I've been really happy with it. It's been really, I'm still not quite to where I'd compete with Ken and his Kid Fox or anything, but I'm looking forward to going out.
Still learning because I didn't find that.
Come closer because otherwise you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm definitely still learning how to land.
And you've been landing and flying for 15 plus years, 15, 20, no, longer than that.
Just
It's been a long time. Yeah.
constant.
So, that's Loki. Thanks for being here. What I'd like to do to end it is, let's walk outside and look at Mad Max, or as you call him, Mad Chris.
The Viewmaster.
The Viewmaster. So, there's a gyro out there, and it's Chris's, so
Yeah.
let's go and check that out last, and yeah.
So yeah, this was my childhood fantasy. It was one of those things I thought I'd never do. Just not because I couldn't afford it, but just I thought, oh, it's crazy. I'll never learn how to do that. But this is actually, it's a view, not Mad Max. It's a Viewmaster. That's what the VM stands for. This was designed and built by a guy named Dennis Du Bois up in Washington, and it's got 100 horse Rotax on it. Those are sport copter, 28-foot sport copter blades. It's got a really one-of-a-kind, very unique air suspension, which he designed. Uses airbags. What else can I say? Yeah, pretty much everything on this. It's all chromoly. Majority of it's chromoly steel. It's got fabric on the tail structure, and then of course aluminum horizontal. But just about everything was machine welded or designed by Mr. Du Bois. Like I said, it's an incredible machine. When I got it, it needed some rotors from the second owner, which is a long story. But I put new rotors, got a new rotor, rebuilt rotor head from Sport Copter, and went up there to Scappoose, picked up my rotors, and yeah, the guy was really great. But I got my license, my Sport Copter rating, oh gosh, when was it? Wasn't very long ago, maybe 5-6 months ago. And
Okay, so Chris, sit down
Yeah.
on this for a second. I want you guys got to see this, okay?
oh, so yeah, this is how you fly it. You pretty much just, and by the way, the seat is the fuel tank. It holds 7.5 gallons. I know I get a lot of people go, oh my gosh, you're sitting on the fuel. I said, well, if you ride a motorcycle, the fuel's between your legs, so I don't know. And the engine is too, so it kind of doesn't make any difference.
Okay, so really, you
But-
don't think of this as Mad Max?
Well, yeah, if you've seen the Mad Max movie. But anyway,
I'm gonna make you like all the things.
But anyway,
I'm
that's-
gonna make you a Mad Max canopy with like some things
I don't
sticking
want a
off.
canopy. No, so the beauty of this is you just sit out here in the breeze. It cruises, comfortable cruise is 55, 60. You get up to 70 and it gets pretty breezy, and you get any faster than 70 and there's nothing protecting the wind, so it's just not as fun. 55 is great. 35 is even better, but you just don't. The only thing bad about 35 is you feel like you're not moving at all. Yeah, pretty basic gauges. Airspeed, vertical speed, all your engine gauges, very basic. Handheld radio that's wired in. That's it. Yeah.
Okay, well,
Anyway,
anything else? Ken, any closing thoughts?
yeah,
Chris, thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for your help.
absolutely.
You do know that you got me the bug on this, and I'm thinking of getting rated on this so that I can.
Yeah, whatever you do, don't go fly a gyro. You got enough bad habits. I highly recommend not doing it. No, it's kind of a funny thing.
I heard that it's been good with crosswind.
Oh, I've landed in tailwinds and crosswinds and I mean, I don't highly recommend you landing in tailwinds or really heavy crosswinds, but the gyro, it's got a rotating wing, so it's constantly compensating, so crosswinds are kind of a non-event, and gyros are, in my opinion, are the opposite of airplanes as far as takeoff and landing. Takeoffs are difficult. Well, I should say difficult. They're trickier. A lot more bad stuff can happen. Landings are fairly easy. Landings, you have a lot of energy, you flare, you come in. It's, you can do a lot of different, you can screw up on a landing pretty good and still come out with a decent landing. Takeoffs, you got to be careful. You get a little bit of roll, a little bit of pitch, moment. You got to maintain, you got to make sure you don't try to get it off the ground before it's ready to come off. Like if your rotor speed's low, you need to let it get that rotor speed up. Just different things like that. I could go on and on. There's just things that you really have to, as a fixed wing.
Well, the next one we gotta do a
Adjustments.
live stream on your channel.
Yeah, oh, my channel.
Okie doke.
All
Thank
right.
you, everyone. Appreciate the watching and go fly. Be safe. Chris, Robert, Ken, Chris, Robert out. Bye. What? You press finish. You press finish?
All right, goodbye, everyone.
You press finish? No. Down here, to read this button here. Where is it?